Ailment of the week. I don't know. I, this was one of the segments I mentioned possibly adding. Um, it might not be of the week. It might just be of today. But uh, lately I've been getting migraines, and it's something I used to suffer a lot when I was younger. So I started researching it this past week or so and trying to look for natural remedies and just try to figure out what may have changed to bring them on again. And actually, it's a shame because a couple of my healthier changes could also be causing migraines.
How so?
So, let me find my thingamajigger real quick. Migraines. Okay, so this is just a kind of basic overview of some of the causes out there for migraines. I mean, everybody's different, and even per individual, different moments, you may have different reactions, responses. But
depending on your state.
Right. So stress. Stress is always a big one. I would like to think I'm not stressed, but let's be honest.
Could be subconscious too.
Things have been pretty stressful in the Coakley household. So that could be it. But I think stress is almost a constant, whether it's a good stress or bad. I mean, that all depends on your mindset. So stress, drinking, obviously not a water can cause it, but wine, if you're going to drinking alcohol, has been shown to cause migraines more. And then this brings me to food, which is actually the bigger one where more of my healthier choices are a possibility. But just a couple of foods and additives that have been shown to increase migraines, MSG and aspartame. Both of those, I mean, you don't need them anyways.
Cytotoxins.
Yep. But processed meats, so anything aged with nitrates or nitrites in it, all that stuff has been shown. Dairy, yeah, the gluten in it. Gluten, but dairy, it's more the aged and cultured dairy products have been shown to cause more of it. But over-ripened bananas and avocados, just avocados in general, and I've been adding avocados to my diet.
I love avocados.
I love avocados. Breads, the yeastier breads, the gluten in it, again, that's what too. Chocolate and or caffeine, which is funny because if Excedrin for migraine has Excedrin with caffeine in it. Now, is that just a marketing ploy, or is it too much caffeine, or are they talking...
Maybe it's a long-term versus short-term.
Right, or I was thinking maybe withdrawal from caffeine if you're used to having so much and then you don't. People tend to complain about migraines. Beans, I don't eat beans, but also fermented or pickled foods.
Fermented foods? Really? Migraines?
Yep. And
I don't know if I subscribe to that.
Yeah, I haven't really bought into too much of the food ones. I was going back to stress, but the only thing...
I think migraines are a lot more correlated to mental and emotional states.
I could see that. And then sensory stimulus with the whole kind of getting away from putting fragrant-based stuff on. Smell. Intense smells can trigger it.
Are you just coming up with like a big list here, or like what have you correlated from yourself? Like I so rarely get headaches ever in my life.
The thing is,
I have trouble even understanding migraines from people, but I mean, I hear they're horrible.
They suck. It's just this pain, and for me, when I get them, it's right in the back of my eyeballs, and it sounds like someone's just drilling them.
Jeez.
And the light hurts, noise hurts. It gets to the point where I just want to puke and pass out.
You think it could be post-concussive stuff in a lot of cases too? Like, because I mean, if you've had concussions,
but
at some point in your life.
I got migraines before I had concussions. I've noticed, like, when I got them, I would get them all the time, and then if I didn't get them, I would never get them. And it's been based off of a lot of, I think it's more environmental factors too. But for me, what I noticed, and that was just a larger list, but things that have changed recently since I started getting them again would be environmental factors, sensory stimulus. Everything just is extra potent now. and my diet. Other than that, nothing else has changed. And I mean, my stress is kind of up and down anyways.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say I've been stressed out to the point where I've been thinking about. I mean, when I was getting out of the military, I was stressed to the point where I couldn't sleep, and I wasn't getting migraines. So,
Well, I did a quick Google search on the emotional underlying factors of migraines. So I found what Louise Hay has to say about it because uh, she's brilliant when it comes to the underlying emotions of every physical ailment.
Yep.
Because every physical ailment starts somewhere on the emotional level.
right.
So with migraines, she said it's the dislike of being driven and resisting the flow of life. So could that be a factor?
The dislike of being driven.
And resisting the flow of life.
Huh. Well, last week I got one for a podcast night. But the week before that, I was hanging out with a very lovely lady. So maybe it's like, fuck this bitch. I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility. It's one of those things, though.
Well, there's probably a non-human time component to it, like with the microbiome. Like stuff that happened to you as a kid can affect you later. Stuff that I did 4 years ago could be impacting me now. Like I would think if it's that emotional stuff, it might not be like I had this feeling today and I get a migraine tomorrow or tonight.
But the emotion,
if that's correct.
Because it's about the vibration produced by each emotion. That's what it is.
Hmm.
So it's whatever vibration is resonating through you, it's going to manifest on the physical level. That's what it is.
That just makes me want to think to the times, right? Because I mean, I've been getting these since I was like a little kid.
That's why we need Davidoff's sarcastic point of view on this. He probably had a good angle on this.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
But cures, not really too much helps when I get them. I'd always have to just pass out somewhere. So we'd go more prevention. Obviously, diet is a big one. Don't cut everything out, but you can kind of work your way, see what works for you. I mean, gotta base that for anything for diet, really. Some people are more sensitive than others to certain things. Acupuncture.
Yeah. Have you tried? I think you should look into it.
Well, now that I have money,
That's
one of my first
that's
things.
letting the energy flow.
Yep.
So you don't resist the flow.
And that's the big deal with that is the imbalance of energy and opening the channels so it could regulate itself. Massages, because a lot of people get tension headaches, and that go to the stress and all that stuff too. And on top of that, a lot of things were aromatherapy based, and all the oils used were for that stress relief. Your lavender, and I had a couple other oils, and then just some natural herbs around. But even that's still hit or miss. I think really it's up to the person. You know, what works for one may not work for the other.
I think stress relief is
But
the biggest
stress
factor.
relief, yeah, I would say that. And I mean, it's more about preventing than getting
like with everything.
Yeah, you want to prevent it. You don't want to deal with it when it gets there.
It's easier to prevent a glass from smashing than trying to put all the pieces together afterwards.
But that is more fun.
Not when the glass is you.
No, not when the glass is you.
Or you'd rather do something more productive. Going back to the beginning theme.
Maybe fixing glasses is your passion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Enjoy it.
Vessels.
Fixing vessels is your passion.
You have anything else?
Natural cleansers. Trying to clean the house. Anything you use that's safe, like vinegar for windows, or I mean, just all the chemicals that are in these products nowadays. It's just adding into
What did
the
you
shit we
say
absorb.
is a good one? Because I've read, I think it was like grapefruit seed extract is good for vegetables. Because I've searched on it a few times. And what were you saying? You can see the difference when you wash your fruits and vegetables. And what type of vinegar is recommended to clean the chemicals off?
No, I think even that was like an apple cider vinegar. Like you put a little part in like a bowl of water and you soak it or some shit. Compared to rinsing it off, like you see all the wax and all the just nasty ass stuff that's really on what you consume.
Yeah, pretty much apple cider vinegar you could use to clean a lot of things. Hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
Those two things you could apply them to almost anything. And then also, there's a big market for natural cleaning stuff out there.
Now it's starting to come up.
Because people are realizing, like, oh, there's so many environmental toxins going on, and they're linking it to cancers and things like that, especially in little kids, which is terrible, because they're accumulating all these environmental toxins because of how deadly cleaning products are.
Yeah, earlier, because I was going to write a list of some of the stuff, the only ingredient list I found was on my natural cleaning product. And I mean, I could actually read what they said, but everything else I was looking and I was like, directions, it doesn't tell me what the hell's in it.
And here's a simple test, even beyond like the evidence and all that, because you ultimately have to decide things for yourself. So take any conventional cleaning product and just hold it up to your face and smell. Is it going to feel right or not? You're like, nope, fuck this thing, get this away from me. And that's a telltale sign of what it does to your body over time.
Oh, and it's also, I think, like the test for aromatherapy products where, like the ones Jekka uses, you should be able to eat them in most cases.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if the ingredients are truly good.
Yeah. Like hydrogen peroxide is a great cleaning product, and I swish it in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's pretty gentle. Of course, you can't go drinking it, but it's good enough so you can rinse it in your mouth. And if you smell it, it's not that overwhelming chemical-laden smell, like a lot of other things.
Yeah, I just use natural stuff at home. 7th generation, things like that. But I would mention there's a great website and database called the Environmental Working Group, I'm pretty sure. We'll double check for the show notes, but it basically rates everything from shampoos, cleaning, all the brands. You can just drop it in there, and it gives you very detailed red, yellow, green, and most stuff out there is red and yellow. And it explains to you the various carcinogens and toxins.
Breaks it down.
Yep.
That's so useful and informative.
Yep.
I like the color code. It makes it easy too.